Welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, featuring the head coaches of Nicholls State University basketball, J.P. Piper and Doobie Plaisance. Today's program is presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. Colonel Basketball Weekly is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team.
Good afternoon and welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. The Nicholls men's basketball team had already clinched their sixth consecutive Southland Conference tournament appearance heading into action last week, but an all-important first-round bye was still on the line as the Colonels played host to a pair of league newcomers in Abilene Christian and Incarnate Word. The Colonels would have to take care of business on their home floor where they had lost only once all year. Let's head to Stopher Gym. The Red and Gray came ready to play against Abilene on Thursday. First minute, TJ Carpenter offline on the three, but Jeremy Smith cleans it up. He went 7 of 9 from the field, scoring 17 points. The Colonels did a fine job of forcing turnovers, especially early. They had 9 steals on the day, a career-high 5 of those for Dantrell Thomas. The slam makes it 9-5 Nicholls. DT with 14 points. ACU not going away. Midpoint of the half, Parker Wentz, their star player, he went for 20 points. This kid can shoot the ball. The lane line jumper brings the Wildcats within 4 at 17-13. After leading the Colonels in scoring in the previous game, TJ Carpenter was back at it, the helper from Sam McBeth. Nicholls had 17 assists. Carpenter with a club best 18 points, including 3 bonus balls. Nicholls went into the half, leading 33-27. ACU makes a run to start this second, though. Michael Grant on the baseline drive, dishing out. Wentz with a pump, drive, and runner, and the game is tied at 34 with 17 minutes left. ACU, though, was never able to jump out in front because Nicholls proceeds to go on a 20-0 run. Nice ball movement, the skip pass from Carpenter to Smith, who buries the three. Nicholls made a season-high 10 shots from beyond the arc. ACU came in as a three-point specialist. Nicholls beat them at their own game, 64% shooting in the second half of the Colonels. Another steal for Dantrell Thomas. This time Carpenter is the beneficiary. Nicholls blows what was a tie game wide open. It goes from 34-all to 54-34 in a matter of 6 minutes. The Colonels do all this without starting point guard Shane Reillier, who missed the game with a concussion. Amin Torres did a fine job running the show in his first start of the year. Torres with his only bucket here, but not a single turnover for him. Nicholls with only 5 turnovers in the win. 79-60 is your score. Just a complete team effort in this one for the Colonels. So Nicholls able to claim the victory over Abilene Christian. They would turn their attention on Saturday to Incarnate Word. The Cardinals are in their first year in the league as they make the move up from Division II, and they came loaded for bear, having picked off 2 of the top 3 teams and nearly took out first place Stephen F. Austin, with the Lumberjacks needing a last-second shot to win it. Saturday was Senior Day, final home game of the year as the Colonels honored their senior class of Dantrell Thomas, Jeremy Smith, and Pedro Maciel. Nicholls fell behind 6 in the opening minutes, but Thomas slashes his way to the hoop to give the Colonels a 14-12 advantage at the 9-minute mark. DT with 11 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. However, Nicholls went cold, going almost 6 minutes without a field goal during one stretch. UIW takes advantage. Sam Burmeister creates a shot and knocks down the paint runner. Cards up by 5 with 5 to go before the break. Burmeister with a game-high tying 18 points. The bench would pick up the slack, though. 29 points off the pine. Maciel with a no-look to Jadante Fry late in the half. Nicholls, though, trails 32-22 at the break. They went 0 of 10 from beyond the arc in the first half. They got the deficit down to 2, but UIW goes on another run. The bonus ball by Kyle Hiddle puts the visitors up 15 with under 5 minutes left. Hiddle scored 13. He was 1 of 5 in double figures for Incarnate Word. This one's over, right? Not so fast. Smith distributes to Amin Torres as Nicholls begins to find its shooting touch. Torres went for 10 points. Nicholls still down double digits with under 4 minutes left. They make some more headway, though, trailing by 9 with just over a minute to go. Carpenter rebounds a missed free throw and saves it. Nicholls works it around the perimeter to Sam McBeth. Folks, we got a 6-point game with a minute to go. The Colonels close it down to 2 and force a turnover before Thomas drains a pair of free throws with 10 seconds left. Nicholls erases a 15-point deficit in 4.5 minutes. We're tied up. Here we go. Incarnate Word ball. Point guard Mitchell Badil brings it up the floor and steps on the accelerator. The reverse layup gives Incarnate Word the lead again with 4 seconds to play. Nicholls with another chance. The outlet to DT. The drive, and there's some contact, but no call, and the shot won't fall. A great rally, and it doesn't net Nicholls a win. 69-67 the final in favor of the Cardinals. Only the second home loss of the year for the Colonels, as Incarnate Word clinches a winning Southland record, though because of their reclassification, they are ineligible for the postseason. So with 1 week left in the regular season, here's what the Southland Conference standings look like. All the teams in yellow have clinched a spot in the tourney. Stephen F. Austin has locked up the regular season title and are 2 wins away from a perfect Southland season. The number 2 seed and double bye into the semis that goes along with it is still up for grabs, as are the single byes that come with the number 3 and number 4 seeds. Nicholls still has a shot at that. Southeastern Louisiana and Central Arkansas will duke it out for the 8th and final berth to Katy, Texas. Nicholls head coach J.P. Piper knows what's on the line in these 2 last regular season games.
Well, it's a big week for us. Mathematically, we can still achieve a first-round bye, finishing 4th. We need a little help. One of the things that has to happen for us to be able to do that is we got to win these 2. So Houston Baptist went down to the wire here. We won on a last-second shot. We've got to be a little better at their place than we were that night here and hopefully get a win there. And then, of course, Corpus got us here, so we have certainly revenge on our mind. We need to go down there and get them. They're sitting in second place. Obviously a very good basketball team, but we played them down to the wire. So we need to play to our potential in both these games and put ourselves in a position and to hopefully get the bye. Even if we don't get the bye, we still going to Katy. It would just be nice to have that first-round bye in hand.
March is here, my friend. Best of luck. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Head coach of the Colonels, J.P. Piper. Folks, we'll be back with more here on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, right after these words.
You may know Thibodaux Regional was the first hospital in the region to take a leadership role in athletic safety. But did you know they're the only hospital in the region to offer advanced concussion testing technology? That their certified athletic trainers assist high schools with team event coverage, and that they provide prevention education to coaches, athletes, and parents? TJ Boudreau knows they're here for athletes of all ages. Parents, coaches, and athletes know Thibodaux Regional Medical Center for expert, compassionate care.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better, that's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
Back here with you on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Coming up this weekend, we've got wall-to-wall coverage of Nicholls Athletics on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. The men's basketball team visits Houston Baptist Thursday at 7:30 and Corpus Christi in the regular season finale on Saturday at 2:30. Both games are on the network, including our flagship station, ESPN 100.3 The Game, which can be heard in New Orleans, the River Region, and the Tri-Parishes as well. We'll also carry Nicholls baseball as the Colonels host BYU in a 4-game set. You can catch 3 of those games on KTIB 6:40 a.m. Thursday evening, Friday afternoon, and Saturday night. Game 2 of Friday's doubleheader can be heard over on KNSU 91.5 FM. The Colonel women's hoopsters take on HBU Thursday at 5 o'clock. Then it's the final day of the regular season on Saturday. Tip time against Corpus Christi is at noon. Listen to both of those games live on KNSU 91.5 FM. Now, the Nicholls women entered last week in the thick of a hunt for a double bye into the Southland Conference Tournament semifinals. But in a wild season, only one team, Central Arkansas, had already clinched a tournament berth. Remarkable this late in the year. So every win or loss would have major implications on the Colonels' postseason hopes. With 2 weeks remaining, Nicholls was still in line for a league title or they could find themselves out of the tournament altogether. They'd play host on Thursday afternoon to one of the league's new members, Abilene Christian, the league's most potent offense, and a club that loves to fire up the three. Their leading scorer, Renata Marquez, didn't waste any time pulling the trigger. She misfires, but Lindsay Dimba snags the board, and Marquez settles for two. ACU grabbed an early 6-point lead. Marquez on her way to a 22-point performance. The Colonels wake up, though, and score the next 9. KK Babin slicing and dicing her defender, cans the mid-range jumper. Nicholls would spend the next 6 or 7 minutes slowly but steadily building their lead. Marquez here off the mark again. ACU started 1 of 14 from downtown. Babin leads in transition and whips it to Jasmine Scott. She had 18 points and 7 rebounds. The Colonels are up a dozen at the 9-minute mark. But the Wildcats whittle that deficit down to 1 possession. Susie Dimba, Lizzie's twin sister, rips away the entry pass. The dish to Alexis Mason, who registered 19 points. The Colonels up 37-34 at the half. Now, unfortunately, Nicholls struggled mightily to make shots in the second stanza. Scott would bail them out here after Taylor Morrison airballs it from the baseline. Colonels up 7, but they shot just 24% in the final half. And that would set the stage for a remarkable 18-0 run for ACU. Almost in the blink of an eye, they reel off 18 points in less than 4 minutes. Susie Dimba misses the bonus ball, but Marquez lays it in. The Colonels would fall behind by as many as 13. A good ball movement here. Nicholls completely deflated. Susie Dimba with the bucket, the assist from her sister here. The twins combined for 20 points, 25 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 steals. The Colonels' Imani White started the week as the Southland's leading scorer. She went for 22 points in this one. It's not enough. ACU takes it 78-62. Just the second home loss of the year for Nicholls. It was a game they needed to quickly put in their rear view. On Saturday, they played host to another new conference member, Incarnate Word. It marked the final home game of the year and a time to pay tribute and say goodbye to the team's 2 seniors, Jasmine Scott and KK Babin. We'll have more on them in a moment. Babin would give the home crowd one more treat. Early on in the ballgame, her first and only 3 of the day from the parking lot. The Colonels would go up 11-8 off of this bonus ball, 13 points and 7 assists for Babin. UIW, meanwhile, has struggled in their initial year in the league, but you can't take them lightly. They have a tough time getting the ball inside here, but Katie Novak winds up draining the 3. The Cardinals have a 15-13 advantage. Novak was one of 4 cards to finish in double figures. She scored 11. 11 lead changes in the first half in this one. It was no cakewalk. Imani here snags the rebound and makes it happen down on the other end. She was on her way to a 29-point performance. Nicholls up by 3 at the 8-minute mark of the first half. But UIW's Ifunanya Mora put together an 11-rebound, 6-assist effort. The strong board and the outlet to Natalie Hessong. Rose Whitehead finishes. Whitehead with a team-high 15 points. Nicholls down by 5. Final seconds of the half, Novak on the air ball, but Mora tips it in. UIW opens up an 8-point lead as Nicholls looks to avoid a disastrous 0-2 week at home. They would have a whole lot of work to do at halftime. They go on a 10-2 run to start the second. Then with about 13 minutes left, Jenny Nash finds her way to the basket. Nash scored 12 of her 15 points after the break. The Colonels grab a 46-44 lead. Later in the second, UIW dares White to shoot the ball from 18 feet out. That's a mistake. Colonels up by 5 at the 8-minute mark. Nicholls shot 61% from the field in the second half. With about 6 minutes left, the Colonels begin to pull away. Imani White sets a new single-season school record with 532 points. Another terrific week for her. Nicholls claims the victory 76-64 as they improve their record to 15-12. They're now 10-6 in the Southland. An outstanding year at home. They won 10 of 12 at Stopher Gym. Taking a look at the updated Southland Conference standings with 1 week left in the regular season, only Central Arkansas, Stephen F. Austin, and Lamar have clinched an invite to the league tournament. 5 spots still up for grabs. Nicholls is tied with McNeese State for 4th place, though the Colonels do hold the head-to-head tiebreaker. The Colonels will have to face a red-hot Corpus Christi team on Saturday. Oral Roberts, Southeastern Louisiana, and Houston Baptist remain very much in the hunt. Sam Houston State still mathematically alive. When you take a look at those standings, you realize how big that win was for Nicholls on Saturday. Head coach Doobie Plaisance knows it too.
It was huge. It was huge in an emotional way, a statistical way, all across the board. It was just a great day for women's basketball here. For our seniors, for them to go out on a win and everything they've invested. The body of work they've done over the time they've been here, it was incredible. The response that we had, the fans that we had here supporting our seniors was very unique. I don't know if it would have happened in any other institution, so I'm proud to be a Colonel today. And also that win still puts us somewhat mathematically somewhere out there in bracketology. We have a possibility of maybe winning this regular season conference championship. So we need to just take care of business this week and see where the bracketology gods put us.
All right, Coach, congrats on the win. We'll talk to you again come tournament time. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mike.
She's the head coach of the Colonels, Doobie Plaisance. We'll have more on her senior class when we come back here on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Back here on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. This past Saturday served as Senior Day, and we paid tribute to a couple of ladies who have helped make the Colonel women's basketball team a force in the Southland Conference. Our own Tiffany Williams gives credit where credit is most certainly due.
The Nicholls women's basketball team has overcome many obstacles in recent years. Much of this success can be credited to seniors KK Babin and Jasmine Scott, whose contributions to the club helped the Colonels become a force to be reckoned with. With just a few weeks remaining in their Colonel careers, Babin and Scott have some unfinished business left to handle before they say farewell.
When they arrived to Nicholls, the program was in the midst of building its reputation. While the road to respect was long and uncertain, Babin, Scott, and the rest of the Colonels have accomplished a remarkable amount of goals in a short period of time.
I guess we're kind of like low man on the totem pole. We weren't really, respected that much. Nobody kind of saw us as a threat. And so that's kind of how my, college experience started. And now leaving Nicholls, everybody, knows who we are. They scout us probably harder than any other team. And now we're highly respected in, playing each game and what we do here.
We've been rebuilding and we're to a point to where now we have a chance to just take conference.
Babin and Scott were high school teammates at St. Michael in Baton Rouge before sharing the court at Nicholls. Playing together again in college has been a huge relief for both players as their chemistry remained intact throughout the years.
Knowing how she plays and just the energy she can bring and how she can just take over a game whenever she wants to because she's just that good, it was a lot of relief in knowing that, all the goals that I kind of set for myself and set for Nicholls, where I was a step closer to achieving them. So having Jazz on the team was, a big relief for me.
Knowing that I was able to play with someone who already knew my tendencies, it just made it a little bit more comforting, a little bit more easier for me to make that decision to come here. I didn't have to go and get used to someone that didn't have to get used to me. She was already used to me, I was used to her, so it just made it way better, more fun.
Even though Babin and Scott will be leaving Nicholls to pursue future endeavors, they still want their team to continue to fight hard to maintain the legacy they helped create.
Advice to younger players would just be, keep pushing, keep working hard, because the harder you work, really, it's like so cliche, but the harder you work, the more you get out of your play and just anything you can do on the court.
You're going to have your days to where you're not happy, you don't want to be at practice, but you just have to push through it because there are a lot of people who want to be in a position that we're in to just pretty much go to college and do what you love to do. So to tell them to just have fun regardless of what it is.
Upon graduating from Nicholls, these women still have plans to keep the sport of basketball in their lives.
I want to coach. I used to want to go overseas and play, but I don't know if I want basketball to just be a part of my life like that anymore, but I would like to go and coach.
I really hope that I can go play overseas and, kind of, I guess, continue my career there. But if I don't have an opportunity, I definitely going to come back.
Head coach Doobie Plaisance has seen her seniors grow as both basketball players and as young women. She knows their contributions are about more than just their statistics.
Their shoes will never be filled, ever. And we have some great players that will continue to play and great players we're going to bring in. But when KK Babin leaves Nicholls State, there's not going to be another KK Babin. And when Jasmine Scott, who, by the way, has already graduated, is through playing ball, again, we're not going to get another Jasmine Scott.
Babin and Scott may be nearing the end of their time as student athletes, but the life lessons they have learned through this program, both on and off the court, will live in their hearts forever. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Tiffany Williams.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Folks, we'll be right back with more of Colonel Basketball Weekly presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional in just a moment's time.
You may know Thibodaux Regional was the first hospital in the region to take a leadership role in athletic safety, and they responded by developing a comprehensive sports medicine program. But did you know their certified athletic trainers assist high schools with team event coverage, and that they are the region's only hospital with sports medicine fellowship-trained physicians? TJ Boudreau knows they're here for athletes of all ages. Parents, coaches, and athletes know Thibodaux Regional Medical Center for expert, compassionate care.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better, that's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
Welcome back to Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. It's time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. You're either local or you're not. Louisiana's Best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week, it's Isla Brock from the women's tennis team. Brock helped the nationally ranked Colonels go 3-0. She went undefeated in singles play, winning each match in straight sets. She also teamed with Emma Cranendonk for a pair of victories in doubles as well. For a complete recap of the week that was in Nicholls Athletics, here's Alex Tullis.
While the Nicholls track and field team closed out its indoor season this past week, the baseball and softball squads both traveled to Mississippi to fine-tune their game in advance of conference play. Back in Thibodaux, student athletes from various sports also found time for some community service at a local elementary school.
The track and field squad traveled to the Birmingham, Alabama Crossplex to complete its indoor season at the Southland Conference Championships. The distance medley team finished third with its second best time ever, while Tesney Carruthers finished second with a sub-5-minute mile, missing first place by only 0.26 of a second.
Coming into the final, I knew I had one of the top seeded times, but there were a lot of girls very close, so it was a bit nerve-wracking, but we went out a little slow and then it started picking up.
The baseball team began a 4-game series against Jackson State on their home field Thursday night, winning 4-3 in a 12-inning contest. The following night, the Colonels fell 9-8, blowing an 8-0 lead going into the 7th inning.
We felt probably got a little comfortable there at the end, and that's 100% my fault. I feel like I probably should have put our players in a more successful situation.
The series moved to Jackson State's Bob Braddy Field in Jackson, Mississippi for games on Saturday and Sunday. The Colonels were victorious in both outings, winning the first contest 6-4 while blowing out their opponent in the finale 18-2. The softball squad also found itself on the road this past weekend, competing in the Mississippi Gulf Coast Classic in Gulfport. They had a disappointing showing, losing their first 4 contests before pulling out a win against Texas State on Sunday. The Colonels see a need for improvement before their next outing.
We really need to put ourselves in better situations and execute when the time comes. You know, when we need a bunt, we should be able to put those down. When we need a hit and run, we need to do that. You know, we need to steal a base. We need to make sure that we swipe that bag.
Between their busy schedule of students and athletes, representatives of Nicholls Athletics in conjunction with Tom's Shoes traveled to South Thibodaux Elementary School on Friday to hand out shoes and interact with deserving students. These special shoes are made for decorating, giving these children a creative outlet as well. Baseball Associate Head Coach Chris Prothro, who led this particular event, recognizes the positive influence the student athletes can have on a community.
I think it's important for our student athletes to have some perspective on how important it is to get out into the community and make a positive impact, not only just through winning games or you know, doing things athletically, but the people in the community really look up. They are role models for not only the young students here at the elementary school, but for the regular member of the community. You know, our student athletes are achievers. They do a lot of great things in the classroom, and it's important for them to get out and give back to those people that they expect to come to their games.
Even though the region has been focused on a wide range of Mardi Gras festivities, the athletic teams at Nicholls have had to remain focused on a regular schedule of practice, contests, and events. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Alex Tellis.
Thank you very much, Alex. Folks, here's what's on tap for Nicholls Athletics this weekend. On Thursday, the baseball team plays host to BYU. On Friday, that series with the Cougars continues with a doubleheader, and the men's tennis team is at Southern Methodist. On Saturday, Nicholls and BYU wrap up the 4-game set, while softball opens Southland Conference play with a doubleheader at Stephen F. Austin. On Sunday, it's getaway day for softball. Women's tennis is at home against McNeese State in conference action as well. Well, there are plenty of ways to keep up with what's going on around Nicholls Athletics. Find our Instagram page at instagram.com/colonelsports. We're at youtube.com/Nicholls Athletics, facebook.com/GoColonels, and twitter.com/colonelsports. And for all the latest news around Nicholls Athletics, check out our website every single day, GoColonels.com. That's GEAUX, GoColonels.com. Want to thank you for joining us, folks. We will talk to you again coming up after the Southland Conference Tournament. Until then, take care.
Today's show has been presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.